Since around 1750 onwards, we have been living in a highly distinctive era in the history of the world that is known as Romanticism, a a total transition from reason to emotion. As an ideology, it has emerged in the middle of the 18th century in the minds of poets, artists, and philosophers. As a result, they fixed their interest on individualism and emotion, subjectivism, simplicity in style, depiction of nature, and imagination. Literary works have got a manifesto, especially the poetry had become the manifesto of this movement. Since the publication of lyrical ballads by William Wordsworth helped Romanticism to enter into English literature, and it is as a movement in Malayalam poetry was traditionally pioneered by Changambida Krishnapilla. Today, today I invite your attention to focus on the romantic literary works of both William Wordsworth and Changambida. I take the view that the comparison of the significant works of both poets have shown similarities in choice of themes and treatment of subjects, though their culture, social, and political environment is mismatched drastically from west to east. William Wordsworth described poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and the same was opinioned about Changambira's poetry by the famous Indian writer Sunil P. Ilaidam in one of his speeches. Both sketched poetry as an inner appetite of the soul, as an expression of the inner appetite of the soul. As a result, they have described imagination, mind, and emotion in their works, and they highlighted these aspects. The depiction of nature has obtained a prominent position in the works of the one as well as the other. Naturals being situated a primary poetic subject and described natural phenomena with accuracy. Wordsworth's epic poem called The Prelude, The Tintern Abbey, The Tables Turned have got many nature descriptions. On his second visit to Tintern Abbey, poet recollects his previous visits and appreciates the beauty of nature. He felt solace and joy in the company of nature. As a consequence, he writes, "The rainbow comes and goes, and lovely sorrows, the moon doth with delight look round her when the heavens are bare." Equivalent to it, Changambida also describes the beauty of his nature in Saundarya Lahari, Manaswini, Udyana Lakshmi, Sankalpa Gandhi. And he associates the nature as Udyanam. And he also sings, "Manyatechi poongula pole, manyai vidarum pularkalam." For Wordsworth, the nature is a living personality having divine power and source of spiritual and artistic imagination. But for Changambida, it is an infinite source of beauty and hope for the better tomorrow. The sunrise and sunset, the mountains and rivers, the forests and fields provide joy and bliss to the human heart for the hours together. Another similarity is the idealization of women. Women were always presented as the idealized love interest that is pure and beautiful. Poets corresponded to the concept of women with nature and lover, mother and sister. Through this, the poets aspire that they are to be adorned and respected. The Scottish Girl in the Solitary Reaper of Wordsworth and Changambida's Chandrika in Ramanan are a few examples on it. We know the famous lyrics, Ramanan, "കാനന ഛായയിലാടുമേയ്ക്കാൻ ഞാനും വരട്ടെയോ നിന്റെ കൂടെ." I hope most of us might have sung these famous lyrics during our college days. The ordinary rural and ruistic life is highly glorified in the poems of the two. Changambura's famous work, Ramanan, is an impressive work of both death and idyllic rural life. It's a pastoral poetry, and the characters of Ramanan are named as characters of this named as Ramanan and Madanan are the shepherds. It's a play written in the form of verses. Match the same, Wordsworth also penned the famous poem called The Daffodils. The frame behind its composition is the death of their beloved ones. Both poems centered around romantic and death, misery and agony, death and solitude. Wordsworth perceives consolation and serenity of heart by seeing a cluster of golden daffodils waving in the breeze. Moreover, they were more isolated patch or scattered. It picturizes the present frame of the author, and he expresses his feeling of solitude by singing, I wandered as a lonely cloud. Whereas the other, after unfolding the shepherd's or poet's grief against death, accepts the inevitability of the death and hope for the immortality. Anyway, both demonstrated the beauty of the rural life with accuracy. The pain of the common people displayed in the poems of the both. The ideas of the French Revolution called liberty, equality, and fraternity were very much highlighted in the poems of Wordsworth. French Revolution taught Wordsworth that every human being was intrinsically capable and great. This is correctly evidenced in his poems like the Scottish Girl, The Solitary Reaper, The World is Too Much with Us. In Varakula, Changambara also brings to his readers about the concept of the social exploitation that was practiced during those times by the landlords. And he does not forget to crown the common people as a real hero of the life. In conclusion, I assert the works of both represent a landmark for English and Malayalam poetry. It is unlike anything that had come before and paved the way for everything that has come after. Thank you all for being here today and taking the time to patiently listen to what I have presented. I wish you all a blessed day.